Hey friends, Shay here. So it is time to wrap up my reading that I've been doing recently. I haven't done a wrap up in about a month, so there is going to be quite a bit to dissect within this video. I do have several videos where I've talked about most of what I've read this month, so I will be linking those as I talk about them. And as always, I'm going to break it down, so I talk about the manga first, and then I talk about the books afterwards. There should be timestamps down below for that. So if you want to skip around, you can, but I recommend checking out all of it since it was such a really fun but reasonable amount of reading this month. So first up, I did do a volume 1 blitz and read a bunch of volume 1s in manga this month. So I will leave that linked for you. I talk about so many different series. It's really fun. I did tackle quite a few volume 1s this month. So let's talk about these physical ones that I've got here. So first up, I have volume 3 of Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles. Again, this is a foodie manga featuring a high school age girl who loves ramen, and it's about her journey going all over Japan, going to various different ramen shops and ordering ramen in a way that other people are envious of, and it's amazing. I love it. It's so fun. It does have a little bit of a sapphic vibe to it, but not majorly. Mostly Miss Koizumi doesn't notice anything but manga, and it's amazing. I love it so much. And I hope we get to know Miss Koizumi better outside of manga soon. If not, it's just going to be little vignettes of her eating ramen. So this manga will make you hungry. I still enjoy it. Having a great time. Then I read Those Not So Sweet Boys Volume 4. This installment really solidified some things. So it's not going the love triangle route, which I'm super grateful for. I mean, the other guy has feelings for her, but she's just like, nope, you are a friend. She very clearly cut that off, and he actually encourages the main couple to go forward. And he is our interloper trying to just stop everything because he doesn't want his attention diverted from him. I can't tell if that's because he himself is gay and has feelings for him, or if it's more of that brotherly, no one else, like a selfish brother kind of thing where he doesn't want his attention diverted at all. I can't tell yet. But either way, things are developing nicely in this series. I'm so happy we have a longer series from Yoko Nogiri, because in the other 2 series I've read from this mangaka, I have just wanted more. I'm like, give me more, and this one's still ongoing in Japan, so we're in a good spot with this one. And then, of course, I had the next installment of The Ancient Magus Bride. I love The Ancient Magus Bride. Y'all know this. This is a thing for me, and I just love it. It's fantastic. This installment really kind of cracked open a lot of things, despite this really like charming picture here. It's actually a fairly dark and in-depth volume, so I highly recommend reading this series if you haven't. The anime, if you've watched the anime, stops at like volume 9. So everything past that is content we don't have in anime form yet. So I highly recommend checking out the series. Next, I did read The Dangers in My Heart Volume 2. This one is still really cute. I still really like this. I think he thinks of her as strange because, like, he's attracted to her. He's not been attracted to somebody before. She is quirky. She's kind of tall. She eats a lot. But that's not really, she's quirky in other ways. It's not just the eating thing. But people like to focus on that with this one. Like, she's just unashamedly herself, and I love her for that. And I think that's why he's drawn to her. And it's just a really cute rom-com. If you go into this taking it too seriously, you're not going to enjoy it. But Volume 2 was solid. I ended up enjoying it. I also did read Volume 2 of Love of Kill finally. I had mixed feelings about Volume 1, but I really think it was just when I read it, because Volume 2 gripped me totally, and I'm very invested. I've already picked up Volume 3 to read soon, like I've purchased it. So I will be continuing with this series. After Volume 1, I wasn't so sure. This is why I usually try to do a try 3, so that I have a good chance to get a good feel for the series before I decide if I'm dropping it or not. Next up, I have Creepy Cat by Cotton Valent. I believe this one started out as a web comic, and now we're getting it in manga form, and I love it. It's so cute. This cat is so, like, ghosty and creepy, but I love him because he's really sweet, and this is just so charming. I love it so much. I cannot wait for the next volume. And I love this Wednesday Addams and her creepy cat. It's fantastic. I love it. Highly recommend if you love things a little bit creepy, but you're an animal person. Like, this one's for you. And then I did read the 5 volumes that we have of Liz of Let and Witch's Forest. But I only own the first 4 volumes. I ended up really enjoying these. A friend of mine had duplicates, so I bought them off her. And yes, this series is so fun and so charming, and I love it, and it's amazing. Basically, it's about this woman who was of noble birth, basically being exiled from her family and living in the country, and the people and everything that she comes across. It's a lot more involved than that. I don't want to spoil things because this is a series that's really hard to get a hold of. So I highly recommend checking it out if you can get your hands on it. It's by Natsuki Takaya, who does Fruits Basket. Same great Fruits Basket style art. And I just really enjoyed this. I want more. I want to read it all. And I hope it comes off indefinite hiatus and we get more, because that's kind of the story with this one. And all the other manga I've talked about in other videos. So make sure you check those videos. And then I have my Love in the Night vlog. I've got my Smudathon / Fall into Manga Love vlog. And I believe that's it reading vlog wise that doesn't have manga. Have only manga, I should say. So first up, Well Matched by Jen DeLuca. This book is amazing. 5 stars. My favorite in the Ren Fair series thus far. This is Mitch and April's story. Mitch is the gym teacher who at the Ren Fair plays the counterpart to Simon from Well Met in the kilt. He's the dude in the kilt. And this is about April, who is Emily, the main character from the first book's older sister who had gotten in the accident. So I loved this so much. They're the perfect grump sunshine duo. This is older woman, younger man, has a little bit of like a home renovation thing in the middle of it. And there's so much excellent symbolism in this. I was lucky enough to be able to sit and talk to Jen DeLuca recently. I will leave that linked in the corner as well. And just know that I love this book with so much of my being. One of the best romances I've read all year. Going to be on my best of the year list. So good. Then I did finish off what we have of the Ravenel series. I buddy read these with Lindsay over at Lindsay Tut. So we read Chasing Cassandra and Devil in Disguise. Chasing Cassandra is my favorite Ravenel book. There is something about Tom Severin that speaks to my soul in a way that probably doesn't speak to most others. And I love Tom and Cassandra. I think their romance is very sweet and realistic for the time, and so well done. Highly, highly, highly recommend. This was The Ravenels Meets the Wallflowers. I have not read The Wallflowers yet. Lindsay and I plan on reading The Wallflowers soon, but Merritt and Kier were really interesting in their own way, and I really enjoyed this one as well. So I gave this one like a 4, 4.5, and this one obviously is a 5. So read the Ravenel series. Next, I have The Perks of Loving a Wallflower by Erica Ridley. This is a sapphic historical romance in which we have Thomasina, or Tom, who loves to dress in disguise, usually undercover as a man, to go and help make things right in the world. But Thomasina has a major crush on Philippa York. And Philippa is not interested in any of the men that her parents are throwing her way. But when Thomasina goes undercover to try to win Philippa, it's working. And things go from there. That's all I'm going to say. This has a really great found family element to it. And it's short, it's sweet, it's exactly what I wanted from a sapphic historical. Highly recommend. And then one that's kind of out of left field compared to those, I did read Sister Song by Lucy Holland. This was one of the books of the month for Barnes & Noble in October, and I ended up really enjoying this. So this is based on the Trins of Tua tale, I believe. So basically, this is this is for fans of The Bear and the Nightingale. If you loved The Bear and the Nightingale, this is kind of a Celtic feel to the same kind of a story where magic is being dwindled from the people of religion, and it's about these sisters coming together to bring magic back to the land. It's beautifully done, very lyrical writing, solid 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend. Again, if you like The Bear and the Nightingale, you will like Sister Song. I do have a couple of comic trades here that I'm going to talk about. So first up, I have Punderworld by Linda Shaegeek. This is the volume 1. This is a take on Hades and Persephone. I did a whole dedicated post on my Instagram, so if you want to check that out. But this Hades is so adorable. I love him so much. And this Persephone really is the kind of Persephone archetype that I like, where she's strong, she knows what she wants, but she's trapped by her mother. And you see that very evidently in this volume. And Hades has been crushing on Persephone for a while, and now they're kind of on this adventure together. It's amazing. I love it. It is so fun, and the art is absolutely stunning and beautiful. And I just really enjoy it, so I highly recommend checking out Punderworld if you haven't. And then I did read, it's kind of like a children's story kind of book, but this is Starbright and the Looking Glass. It's written and illustrated by Jonathan Luna. This isn't telling any sort of brand new story. Basically, it's about this girl who was raised in the forest by these animals, and one day she stumbles across a mirror, and she becomes more vain, more centered on her beauty, and she basically gets her beauty stolen from her, so she learns the value of life. And it's really well done. The art is stunning. Like, I just love it. So I highly recommend, if you like Jonathan Luna's art, highly recommend checking this one out. I found it for a pretty decent price, so I really am happy that I read this and I own it and all those things. So physically, those are all the ones that I have. I do have some digital reads that I haven't talked about yet, so let's talk about those. So first up, I have Once More Upon a Time by Roshani Chokshi. This is the novelization of the audiobook that was an Audible original that she made. And it was fun. It was cute. If you like fairy tales, I think it's worth a quick listen. I mean, it didn't do anything new or original. It was just fun, and I had a great time with it. So I gave it like a 3.5 star. Then I have Dark Tarot by Christine Feehan. Dark Tarot was so good. I ended up giving this one like a 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite perfect, but it's really hard when you have Dark Song being the previous installment. This one was still really good. The way that tarot is used within the story is actually amazing. And I really liked the coupling because it's a very different female character than in Dark Song with Elizabetta. And so it's nice to have that contrast because she's like, okay, I know what I need from you. I'm asking for it, but you're not giving it to me. Why? And so like their level of communication is just different. And I really appreciated the differences between the two. So I do recommend reading the later Carpathian books. I think Christine Feehan's done a lot to make them really amazing. The next one hurts my heart to talk about, and that's All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I did not love this book. The hero did some pretty unforgivable things to me early on in the book, and I didn't feel like there was a sufficient grovel from him. And so I ended up disappointed. I ended up giving this 3 stars. I understand what Olivia Dade was trying to do with this book, and I think in a lot of ways she accomplished it, but I just could not root for the hero, and that really broke my heart because what I saw teased of this couple, I was really excited for, but yeah, like, it was just a struggle for me. I didn't end up enjoying it, and I'm really sad because I loved, spoiler alert, so much. The next one's a fun one, and that's A Holly Jolly Diwali. This one is by Sonia Laley. And this is just one of those, I like that it's a different holiday, you know, not your standard like Christmas or Halloween. It's all centered around Diwali, which was great. And I just really enjoyed, and if I remember right, it was a second chance. I read it very early in the month, so my brain is struggling to come up with that. But I ended up really enjoying this. I gave it a solid 4. It was a good time. Would recommend. Next up, I have Journey Mage by Terry Mancour. This is book 6 in the Spellmonger series. I ended up giving this one 5 stars. I do have a review filmed. I just need to edit it and get it up to you guys. But Journey Mage was amazing. I'm going to save my thoughts for that video, so once that's up, definitely check that out. The next one is A Cowgirl's Secret by Melinda Curtis. This is a, you know, Western Harlequin romance. It was fine. Again, it didn't do anything glaringly wrong. I do like Melinda Curtis as an author, but I think I like the other series I've read from her better. I ended up giving this one like a 3.5 star. Again, it didn't do anything glaringly wrong. It just wasn't really for me. That's it. I did reread the first 2 books in the Poison Study series by Maria V. Snyder. So I read Poison Study and Magic Study. I just like to reread those every so often, and so I'm kind of going through a cycle where I'm doing that. And I don't have too much to say because my opinion hasn't changed. I think the series is solid, and I highly recommend checking out the series if you haven't. Yes, these are the books that inspired Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series, but I really think they're different and unique in their own way. So I highly recommend checking them out. So with that said, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you read in the month of October. If you're here just because you love me, go ahead and put some sort of like black or dark emoji, whichever one speaks to your soul that way. Because, you know, we just finished October. These are about my October reads, and a lot of them were more in the paranormal realm. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you so much. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.